We're on this back road in the middle of nowhere at night. There's this couple driving Brooke and Darren, and they're talking and all flirty. But then, bam! They hit a person. Darren slams on the brakes and then goes out to check if the person they hit is still alive. There's this creepy fog rolling in. Darren lifts his hand and we see the victim's unique ring, and out of nowhere he attacks Darren. Meanwhile, Brooke is inside the car trying to call for help, but she doesn't succeed, so she steps outside to tell Darren, but he's gone. Next thing we see Darren's injured and bloody body being slammed on the car's hood, and Brooke bolts. But of course, this person thing is faster and gets to her. Next, we meet Elena Gilbert. She's the main girl, pretty, kind of that girl next door vibe, but she's going through it. Her parents have recently passed, and it's her first day back to school since everything. She's sitting in her room writing in her diary, hence the title. Then we switch to the kitchen where we meet her super chill, cool young aunt Jenna, who's now taking care of her and her little brother Jeremy. Jenna's trying her best, but she's kind of a hot mess. While she's drinking her morning coffee, we see Brooke and Darren on the news in the background. Bonnie Bennett, one of Elena's best friends, picks up Elena for carpool, and they head to school. Bonnie tells Elena that her grandma says they're descended from Salem witches, so she's kind of psychic. She laughs it off, then asks her to predict something about her, but something hits their car, and they almost get into a wreck. We then find out that it's a crow that hit them. We meet her other best friend, Caroline Forbes. We also meet Matt Donovan, Elena's ex-boyfriend. He's the sweet, loyal guy who's clearly still hung up on her. And then there's Vicki, Matt's older sister. We learn that Jeremy is Vicki's dealer and doing them as well. We also learn that she has a thing with this douchebag, Tyler Lockwood. The camera cuts to the new guy in town. He's got that whole dark and mysterious look going on. Elena and Bonnie are staring and asking each other whether they think he's going to be cute when he turns around. Elena spots Jeremy going to the bathroom and finds him putting eye drops in his eyes, and she immediately knows that he's already stoned. We learn that Elena had given him a summer pass, but she's over him purposefully ruining his life. She bumps into the new guy while going out the men's room, and his name is Stefan Salvatore. After school, Elena heads to the cemetery, and she's writing in her diary again, sitting by her parents' grave, until a fog comes out of nowhere, as well as the crow from in the morning. She sees a man's silhouette, and she's freaked out and runs away, but she trips and falls. Stefan appears out of nowhere. Elena points out Stefan's ring, and he says that it's actually a family heirloom. And if you remember, it looks similar to the man hit by the car in the beginning of the show. Elena asks if he's following her, but he says that he has family in this cemetery that he's there to visit. Mid-conversation, Stefan asks her if she got hurt, and when she lifts her pants, she's bleeding, and Stefan's vampirism awakes, then tells her she should go, and then he disappears. At the grill, Matt finds out that Vicki and Tyler have a thing going on, and he's mad at Tyler because they're friends, and that shouldn't happen. Vicki feels like Jeremy is following her around like a lost puppy. Then we learn that they've had a few flings while they were high together. While heading to the grill, Elena is shocked to see Stefan again, at her house this time. This is honestly creepy. I would have shut the door on him so quickly because how did we meet at the cemetery and now you're showing up to my house? Anyways. He says that Mystic Falls is very tiny, and he asked the first person he saw about where she lives. He actually came by to return her journal as she left it behind at the cemetery, which means after he disappeared, he happened to go to the exact place she was journaling by her parents' grave and found it there. Weird, but I digress. Stefan assures her that he didn't read her journal because he also has one and wouldn't want people snooping in it. She invites him to tag along with her. Meanwhile, Matt is confiding to Bonnie that he wants to call her, but he feels weird doing that because she broke up with him. So Bonnie tells him to give her time, and as she says that Elena walks in with Stefan, then Matt sarcastically repeats what Bonnie said about giving her more time. We learn that Stefan's parents also passed away. Elena becomes even more fascinated because they seem to have so much in common. Caroline invites him to a big party in the woods. Back at the Salvatore mansion, we see Stefan's nephew, Zach, show him the newspaper about an animal attack that happened in the beginning, and he's disappointed because he thought Stefan said is controlling his thirst. Stefan tells him that it had to have been an animal attack because it really wasn't him. He tells everyone else that Zach's his uncle because he's a vampire, and Zach will eventually look older. He also has old photos of this girl named Catherine who looks identical to Elena. Now it's time for the big party in the woods. Bonnie and Elena are wondering where Stefan is. So Bonnie uses her so-called psychic powers. But when she touches Elena's hand, she stares in shock, then tells her that she saw a black crow, a fog, and a man. Elena is too stunned to speak because she didn't even tell Bonnie about what happened at the cemetery, so how does she know? Stefan shows up and him and Elena finally talk. He asks her why she has this mysterious but sad face going on. She tells him that her parents' car fell off the bridge and into a lake. She was in the back seat and obviously she survived, but they didn't. Stefan tells her that she really won't be sad forever and the pain will go away. She tells him about her and Matt. They're actually childhood best friends and wanted to try out the whole dating thing with each other. But then her parents died and then everything changed. She also says that her and Matt's relationship was passionless. While Stefan is staring at her, she notices something wrong with his eyes, and it's the vampirism awakening again, probably wanting to rip into her neck. He excuses himself. We see Vicki and Tyler in the woods making out, and Tyler is pushing for them to be intimate, but she refuses to be intimate in the woods. Thankfully, Jeremy followed them and is able to stop Tyler.
Go, Tyler, get the hell away from me.
Vicki Donovan says no. That's a first.
Tyler is really just an arse, hey? There is nothing well-rounded about him. Idiot. Jeremy gives her an I told you so moment because she warned him about Tyler. Vicki gets even more annoyed because she believes Jeremy just wants her to open up to him, so she'll be vulnerable, so he can use her even more intimately. Jeremy says that's not what he's trying to do, but she walks away. While in the woods, the fog once again reappears, and we even see a man's silhouette. Then Vicki is attacked suddenly. Matt and Elena finally talk since school's opened, and he opens up to her that, sure, she initially broke up with him because she needed space, but now it doesn't seem like she needs it anymore, implying her sudden closeness with Stefan. He tells her that he'll continue fighting for them.
Have you been down to the falls yet? You know, I can show you if you want.
Caroline, you and me, it's not gonna happen.
Damn, hey, poor Caroline. But this is good, because he didn't lead her on, you know? Elena follows Jeremy into the woods, thinking he's going to do stoner things. Jeremy falls straight on top of Vicki, and they carry her out of the woods and call the ambulance. Stefan runs back home and tells Zach that there's been another attack, and again, it wasn't him. The crow is back, and now flying into Stefan's house. And then, bam, his older brother Damon shows up.
Hello, brother.
He basically tells Stefan, you're wasting your time trying to play human. You can't join Elena's life to relive your glory days with Catherine, and hints that he's the one who attacked Vicki. Damon loves to stir the pot, and he's definitely here to make Stefan's life miserable. Caroline asks Bonnie why she's never the chosen one, and why all the guys she wants only want Elena.
Elena always says the right thing. She doesn't even try, and he just picks her.
It's not a competition, Caroline.
Yeah, it is.
This is so sad. No one should ever feel they're competing with their own friends. In real life, please never be friends with people who compete and have secret animosity towards you. Those are some of the most dangerous people you could ever let into your life. We end off the episode with Vicki in the hospital, and all she says to Matt is, vampire. Thanks for watching.